All right, good morning, nerds. I just wanted to let you know what your expectations are for this week. So I'm going to be explaining it here in just a second. Here, I'll pull this over. Um, Wait, no, I have to leave it on that screen because if I don't, then you won't see it. Whatever, it's fine. It's been a long break, as you can tell. So what you guys are going to be doing this week is you are going to be reading the first chapter. Not the whole first chapter, but the first section of the chapter that we're covering this unit. So the Great War, chapter 13. What you guys are going to have on your computers when I post this is you're going to have a set of reading notes. It'll say your name and then chapter 13 reading notes on the Great War from 1914 to 1918. The Great War is just the term used at the time that World War I took place to describe the war that was going on. Obviously, they're not going to call it World War I because World War II hadn't happened yet, so they just referred to it as the Great War. It's the biggest war that the world had ever seen up to that point. Technically, we'll talk about it in class once you guys are in here. But what you guys are going to do is you're going to take bullet point notes on each of the following sections that are attached in the PDF, which is this one right here. So I'll pull that up so you can see it. Okay. So you guys are going to take notes on each of these sections, and those sections, you're going to have one per week that you're going to have to do. So what that means is that you're going to go into your PDF, look and find the section that I assigned to you. So for this first one that you're going to have to complete is going to be page 404 to 410. So let's scroll down and find that. Okay. So that starts here, right? Okay. You're going to read a little bit about this. Okay. Look at the different powers that are going to be at play in this war, and then start your section right here. Okay. So the way that this works is you're going to have a red section, okay, or a highlighted section that's going to be your like heading. So in the book, it's always going to be red. So see rising tensions in Europe, and it starts on page 407. I marked the pages for you just to be helpful. And then what you're going to do is as you read, you're going to take bullet point notes on things that you think are significant, okay? A good thing to keep in mind, like a good rule of thumb, is that every time you see a specific paragraph, you should probably take at least 1 or 2 bullet point notes per paragraph. The requirement for the assignment, as you can see on here, is that you will need a minimum of 3 bullet points per read section. You can take more if you want because these notes will be usable on your unit test to prepare and then to take. So highly recommend you do as well as you can on these. But what that means is you're going to be reading a little bit and then just writing down something you think is significant. So for instance, if we're looking at rising tensions in Europe, you can see right here, while peace and harmony characterized much of Europe at the beginning, maybe you can't see. Can I zoom in? There it is. Okay. There we go. It's probably easier to see now. While peace and harmony characterized much of Europe at the beginning of the 1900s, there were less visible and darker forces at work as well. Below the surface of peace and goodwill, Europe witnessed several gradual developments that would ultimately help propel the continent into war. So then what I could do, I could go in my notes and I could say, although Europe at peace, several tensions were present that would bring Europe to war. Okay? Pretty straightforward. So although everything looked fine, there were some tensions that were going to bring it up. So then what I'm going to probably do as I work through my notes is I'm probably going to go through and try to find some of those tensions. So maybe when it says one such development was the growth of nationalism, I'm going to write in my notes, nationalism was a large part of the war's development. Okay, and then I'll go back in here and say nationalism was a deep devotion to one's nation. Deep devotion to one's nation. Okay, it's very straightforward. You need to have a minimum of 3 per read section. What that means is for minimum grade, okay, like 70% on it, like you did it, okay, you did an okay job. You're gonna want to have 3, but you can always hit after you write something. So I'll just say like, okay, the nations involved were, and then I can hit enter and I can add another bullet point. You guys know how to use bullet points. But that is the game plan, okay? The first section that is going to be due on Friday is this one right here, so chapter 13.1. I'll actually add that right here. Due Fri 1/8/21. Okay, and I'll add that to the rest of them before I post it. But you are going to be reading, taking notes, and then finishing it by the assigned due date. That does not mean, everybody, that you are going to, as soon as you're finished, click turn in up here in the corner once you finish that specific section of notes. What that means is you just have to have it done in the Google Doc by that day. On Friday, I'm going to go through everybody's Google Doc and the gradebook, and I'm going to see if you completed that section of notes. If you didn't, it will be late, and you will lose up to 20% of the total credit. Okay, so what that means is that if you do all of your notes, but you do all of them late, you have a potential to lose up to 20% of the total grade of this assignment, which out of 40, I'm not a math guy, but I'll do it really quick here. Use my calculator. Okay, so that's 0.2 times 40. That's up to 8 points. So if you just do your work on time, you have a potential of potentially getting 100%. And if you do it late, you won't get any more than like a low B. So do your stuff on time, or I'm going to take a little bit of a late fee for you. I think that pretty much covers it. Make sure you do your reading notes, 3 bullet points per section, or per red heading, I should say. Make sure that you use the PDF that's attached. Okay, all the page numbers are on there. And then when you finish with your section of reading, do not click turn in, because I'll just return it to you and make you keep working on it once I grade it. And you might want to get ahead of it. It's up to you. It's your deal. But that is what you're going to do. If you have any questions about this, you can meet me in the Google Meet, which I'm going to post on our DAQ, so you can find a link there. It is not a requirement for today. I'm not making you join in for attendance, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I was available. That covers it pretty much. Make sure you check the daily post on the stream. It has a meme in there I think you'll all enjoy, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good day.